Okay, so in this video we are going to answer this question about proving that a given number is irrational. Okay, so the question states, prove that the root of 2 plus 3 is irrational given that the root of 2 is irrational. Okay, so how are we going to prove this? We are going to prove by contradiction. Okay, we're going to prove by contradiction. If you don't know how to prove by contradiction, okay, I recommend you to watch my other video. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, so watch that video and then you can come back to this one to understand. So let us prove that root of 2 plus 3 is irrational given that the root of 2 is what? Irrational. Okay, so we said the first thing is always to make an assumption that is opposite of what you want to prove. So we are going to say suppose, okay, suppose root of 2 plus 3 is rational. Okay, then there exists, okay, two integers. There exist two integers a and b, okay, such that a over b have no common divisor, okay, or no common factor, and b is not equal to what? To 0. So this is the first assumption that you always make. Okay, and then after you make this assumption, it means you can write root of 2 plus 3 is equals to what? A over b. And then from here now you can do your proof. Okay, so we've made this assumption. Let us now try to prove this question. Okay, so let us try to prove. So we have the root of 2 plus 3, which is equals to a over b, okay, by assumption. So what are we going to do here? We are going to leave the root of 2 on our left, okay, and then we're going to say this is equals to a over b, then minus what? 3 over 1. Okay, and then from there we can say root of 2 is equals to, here we can add, okay, or we can subtract. So the common denominator here will be b. So b into b it's 1, so I have a minus, and then here 1 into b it's b. B multiplied by minus by 3, it will just be 3b. Okay, so from there what do we see? Okay, we see a contradiction there, because remember in the question we've been told that the root of 2, this one here, is irrational. Okay, but from this equation that I have here, okay, from this equation that I see that on my left hand side here I have an irrational number, and then on my right here I have a rational number. Okay, because this a, remember we said they were integers, so a and b are integers. Okay, so if you get a an integer and b an integer and then you subtract them, what do you get? You get an integer. Okay, and then that integer we divide it by another integer, okay, you get an integer still. Okay, so this here, what we have on the right hand side is a rational number. It can be written in the form what? A over b, but on our left here we have an irrational number we've been told in the question there. Okay, so this here is a contradiction. So we are going to say, okay, we are going to say that left side or left hand side, which is root of 2, is irrational. Okay, while the right hand side, which is a minus 3b over b, is rational. Okay, why is it rational? Why is it rational? Because we are just dividing and subtracting what? Integers. So if you get any integer, you subtract and you divide them, you are still going to get a rational number. Okay, so what we have is that on the left hand side we have an irrational number, and then on the right hand side we have a rational number. Okay, so we're going to have that the right hand side can never be equal to this is the left hand side can never be equal to the right hand side. Okay, so this here is a contradiction. Okay, so we're going to say hence by contradiction. Okay, hence by contradiction, root of 2 plus 3 is what? Irrational. Okay, so that's it for this question.